The Boston Marathon bombing and subsequent police chase gripped much of the world and prompted blow-by-blow television coverage over the weekend. The incident and the coverage left as many questions as answers. Professor of International Relations Robert Patman joins us to give us his thoughts. Good evening, Robert.
Good evening, Rebecca.
Now, from what you've seen and heard, what do you think's happened here?
Well, I think it's quite clear that America has just experienced the worst homegrown terrorist attack since 9/11. So it's been a considerable shock. It's punctured, I think, the sense of security which has cumulatively settled on America in the last period since 9/11. But it's an interesting one because many people assumed immediately that this would have some foreign connection. It appears that the Tsarnaev brothers, one 26 and the other was 19, are basically radicalised residents of the United States who, at the moment, there's no evidence of foreign links. What
is the latest coming through on the incident?
Well, the latest we have is that Yoha, the youngest brother, Yoha Tsarnaev, has said that his brother was the brains, his elder brother was the brains behind the episode. And that sort of corresponds to people who know the younger brother at the college he attends in Massachusetts. That he very much followed his older brother. But there are some question marks here because the FBI interviewed the older brother, the 26-year-old who was killed in the gunfight a day or so after the bombings. And clearly the FBI had concerns about the way that the older brother was tapping into radicalized Islamic ideology on the internet, some of which advocates jihad. Or war against the infidels. So they were concerned about him. There's also intriguing information that the Russian government approached the American government, in particular the FBI, to instigate that interview. Now we do know that Tamarian, the eldest of the two sons, he was in Russia for 6 months in 2012. Again, the speculation, some people say that it was just a family visit, he spent some time with his father. Others, there is speculation that he may have made contact with some militants while in the Chechnya region of Russia.
How do you think this incident fits in with other bombings described as terrorism?
Well, it certainly does fit in with being a terrorist episode. It's the systematic or coercive use of violence for politically motivated reasons. It was kind of curious, though, that they picked on the Boston Marathon episode. It wasn't a high-value target in the sense, of course, it was the consequences are absolutely appalling. 3 people dead, including an 8-year-old boy, and 170 people very seriously injured. But you thought they might have gone for a more symbolic target, you know, the New York subway or a major public building in Boston. But they went for the marathon. So there's a lot to be unravelled yet. And obviously the interrogation of the younger brother who's currently in hospital, he's been apparently shot in at least 4 parts of his body. That information will be vital to pursuing this investigation.
Why do you think we haven't seen more acts like this from the likes of Al-Qaeda?
Well, we don't know Al-Qaeda is involved. There's no evidence yet that the two brothers, the Tsarnaev brothers, had links with groups like Al-Qaeda. They seem to be, and this is probably the disturbing aspect of the story from the American perspective. One was a legal US resident and the other one was a naturalized American. So they've been in the United States, both of them for 10 years, but they seem to have been radicalized within the United States. And under interrogation, the younger brother said that they felt they were defending Islam or their version of Islam in the United States. It's very difficult to rationalise what's happened. The consequences, as I said before, are appalling. But the disturbing aspect, I suppose, is that there may be other groups that may be, if you copycat incidents after this, there may be other American citizens who may be inspired, if that's not the wrong use of the term, to reproduce such incidents.
Professor of International Relations Robert Patman, thanks for your time.